Next, right ahead on CCX News, a Robbinsdale man's attempt to help a hawk. It's a story all of us can learn from. Plus, difficulties that could halt a dream. Why a proposed high-tech youth center is running into trouble. But first, delays. Lots of them. If you're trying to get things taken care of at the local DMV, what you need to know. CCX News starts right now. Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us. A statewide upgrade to Minnesota's driver and vehicle services system has led to long wait times and frustrated customers at local service centers.
The new system went into effect this week, but getting acclimated to the new program will take some time. And Delane Cleveland joins us now with more on that. Delane?
Mike and Alex, visiting a local service center to get new license tabs or to change a title isn't exactly most people's idea of a fun time. But this week, the process became even more frustrating.
Yesterday was not a great day for our customers. Some were waiting an hour to almost 4 hours.
Last week, the state replaced the 30-year-old system used for motor vehicle transactions. It officially went live on Monday, but any new computer system isn't entirely glitch-free. Here at the Hennepin County Service Center in Maple Grove, the combination of computer glitches and staff members getting used to the new program made for some long wait times. Today, people looking to do motor vehicle transactions had wait times of up to 90 minutes, but staff members here ask everyone to be patient.
I think we're a bit surprised that it has been a little as hectic as it is, but the staff have been terrific and the customers have been very understanding.
Hennepin County Service Centers aren't the only places where customers face delays. In Robbinsdale, transactions are taking longer because employees have to type in customers' information, whereas in the past, that information was already in the system. The Department of Public Safety says customers should allow extra time for an office visit as everyone adjusts to the new system, and be sure you have all the necessary documentation to complete a transaction. Mike?
All right, Delane, thanks. A teacher from New Hope is accused of having sex with a student. 31-year-old Christine Funk is charged with 3 felony counts of third-degree criminal sexual conduct. Funk worked as a music teacher at Sibley High School in Mendota Heights. The accusations involved a 17-year-old male student. Funk was also arrested last March for suspicion of possessing child porn on a work computer.
A former bookkeeper who stole thousands of dollars from a college fund that helped low-income students received a lesser sentence than prosecutors had requested. Allison Klug admitted to stealing from the North Hennepin Community College Foundation in Brooklyn Park, where she worked as an independent contractor. The theft totaled more than $180,000. Hennepin County District Court Judge Lisa Jansen sentenced Klug to 5 years probation and 365 days in the workhouse. She also ordered Klug to pay restitution. Prosecutors, however, had sought a nearly 4-year prison term rather than probation. The judge gave a downward departure from sentencing guidelines because Klug has mental health problems, and she thought Klug would be amenable to treatment.
It's taking a little longer than expected to reopen a grocery store that was impacted by a fire. Festival Foods in Brooklyn Park has been closed since July 17th as it continues to clean up from smoke damage. A fire had broken out in the paper section in the center of the store, and the Brooklyn Park Fire Department says the cause of the fire is inconclusive.
Now to a pizza recall that affects take-and-bake pizzas distributed by Twin Cities Hy-Vee stores. That includes stores in Brooklyn Park and in New Hope. Hy-Vee is voluntarily recalling 8 Hy-Vee brand pizzas because they may contain soy, and that's not on the label description. It could trigger serious allergic reactions for those with soy allergies. The pizzas were sold out of Hy-Vee's refrigerated display cases near the store's Italian and prepared meal areas. They all have best if used by dates of April 23rd through July 26th of this year. Customers can return the pizzas for a full refund at their local Hy-Vee store. A new high-tech youth center in Crystal is closed even before they opened their doors.
Vision the Future Youth Multimedia Center was to be located at a strip mall on Bass Lake Road. We were there last month as volunteers were putting the finishing touches on the youth center. The 6,000 square foot space was supposed to offer amenities and activities for children and teens, including a recording studio, vocal booth, salon, and a place where young people could sell the items that they made. But now that is put on hold after a disagreement between the CEO of the youth center and the landlord. Leroy McGee, also known as Vision, says after trying to get the landlord to fix problems, he was evicted from the property and the locks changed.
Plumbing issues, HVAC issues, pest control, mice running around. As I made requests for these things to get repaired and fixed, I was constantly ignored by him as well as the property managers.
Well, we did reach out to the landlord, but he hung up on us. What should you do if you find an injured animal or bird in your neighborhood?
The best thing to do is to call someone trained to deal with the situation. One Robbinsdale couple did just that, and we get more on what happened next from Eric Nelson.
I looked out the window and I saw a hawk sitting on our fence post, and I said, "Hey, honey, look at the hawk." And I said, "Oh, I think it's got a bad wing, though," because I could see that its wing was down. So he hopped here. So we watched him for a while, and he just stayed there for a little bit and, looked over the yard and whatnot.
Last Sunday night, Robbinsdale resident Andy Doles had an up-close encounter with nature.
We wanted to make sure that something was done with the bird.
An injured Cooper's hawk was in his yard, and Doles quickly sprang into action.
It was scared, didn't want to be here either.
Thanks to a tip from the Birdtown Facebook page, Doles contacted the U of M Raptor Center, and they rescued the hawk.
Within 45 minutes, a man came over with a net, and then we started to try and capture the injured bird.
There was no way the bird was going to get out somewhere safely on its own, so I was happy we were able to just get the bird somewhere where it could be safe.
Unfortunately, this rescue did not have a storybook ending.
It had a fracture, unfortunately one that we knew we couldn't repair back to full flight.
The hawk did not survive.
But they did the right thing. The bird was injured, and they brought it to us.
Thanks to Doles, the bird at least got professional care and had a chance.
Be the bridge, be the connector, facilitate. Don't put yourself in any danger. Sure. Some of these animals can harm you if you don't know what you're doing.
Experts at the U of M Raptor Center say it is vital to try and assist injured animals and birds.
Engaging with the natural world is really important. Our future, our fate is totally tied with the natural world.
In 2016, the Raptor Center set a record by taking in more than 1,000 birds.
Most of the injuries these animals suffer are as a result of an interaction with humans or human activity or human structures.
As for the Doles, their action is the template for how to aid an injured bird or animal.
I just think any animal that's somewhere where it's not supposed to be, it can't take care of itself, people should try to do something to get that animal to safety.
I'm Eric Nelson, CCX News.
If you find an injured bird, contact the U of M Raptor Center. For an injured animal, it's the Wildlife Rehab Center in Roseville. Still ahead, is it that time already? Time to think about back to school.
We'll have some back to school shopping tips that could save you money.
Plus, a strength and conditioning coach at a local high school wins a national award.
But first, some beautiful weather approaches. Thursday and Friday looking pretty nice.
It is not your imagination. School supplies have hit store shelves, meaning that the countdown is on for back to school.
Well, the National Retail Federation expects back to school spending to be up this year, with parents spending the most money on sending kids off to college, of course. Reporter Shannon Slatton has a few money-saving tips in today's Money Savers.
Hard to believe, but true. Back to school time is here. Stores have cashed in on the back-to-school shopping season, offering a growing number of choices to satisfy the ever-changing school supply list.
And it could be anything from markers to duct tape to Ziploc bags to wipes for the classroom.
Prosperwell Financial's Nicole Bindorf has 2 kids and says parents can be overwhelmed at the size and scope of supplies.
In the whole back-to-school shopping section, it feels like it's 3 times the size it was when I grew up, and things are so much more expensive and there's so many more variety of things to pick from.
She has 3 general ideas for saving on back-to-school shopping, starting with buying the school supply package often sold by the school's PTO as a fundraiser. Then
buy in bulk, go in with other parents, look to see what school supplies the kids used last year, and rather than buying all new, can you recycle some of these things? Because really, I know how many more pencils do we need around in your home.
when you do have to buy new, remember the best selection and the best prices are right now when supplies are first out. Then remember tried and true financial advice.
What you want to look at is this a want or is this a need? Is this a requirement from the school, and is this a requirement for my child to have the best learning opportunity, or is this just something that they'd like?
And finally, don't be afraid to shop with the kids in tow. You could teach them a lesson too.
Sit down with your kids at an early age and have those conversations about what things cost and what happens. And don't hesitate at all to share the cost with your kids. It's really a great opportunity to teach them about money and really to teach them about appreciation.
For Money Savers, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
The National Retail Federation says next to buying new clothes for back to school, parents spend the most on electronics. No doubt,
right.
yeah. Still ahead, keeping the Frolics in Crystal Frolics. We'll explain coming up.
But first, a Brooklyn Park man had his college basketball career derailed by a health problem, but he's playing in a big summer league. John Jacobson has the details next in sports.
I'm John Jacobson with sports. The Twin Cities Pro-Am is a summer men's basketball league made up of mostly college and professional players from across the metro. The league's motto is bringing elite summer basketball back to the city. 6 teams make up the league, and several players from the CCX viewing area are taking part, including Brooklyn Park native and former De La Salle High School star Jarvis Johnson. Johnson is currently attending the University of Minnesota, but is not playing for the Gophers because of a heart condition. So the Pro-Am League gives him a chance to play high-level hoops once again.
It's fun. I grew up watching a lot of these guys play at high school, even in college, but just to be able to play with the guys, on the U of M basketball team is still fun. You got so many young guys that are coming up that are good, and just to see them out here competing, as well as veterans that been out here before, and pros as well. So it's pretty fun. The competition is great.
Other local players in the Pro-Am league include former Hopkins star Amir Coffey and former Champlin Park standouts McKinley Wright and J.T. Gibson, Park Center alum Quentin Hooker, and Cooper grad Jefferson Mason. All games are free and open to the public at De La Salle. Playoffs are coming up, and for more information, go to TwinCitiesProAm.com. Strength training during the season, and especially in the summer, is a big thing for high school athletes. As Jay Wilcox reports, a coach from a local high school won a big award for his efforts in the weight room.
For Wayzata teacher Ryan Johnson, or RJ as he's best known at the school, being named National Strength and Conditioning Coach of the Year is a pretty good feeling.
It's an award that goes towards a lot of involvement in speaking and involvement in community and involvement in facilities. It's kind of an all-encompassing award, so I'm very appreciative of it. I'm very humbled by it, but I think it's a great opportunity for our district and our school because we have resources that put us in a position for me to even be up for an award like this.
Johnson got to be heavily involved in the planning for the new weight room project at Wayzata. He pushed for some things that were a little out of the ordinary.
It was really exciting putting the room together, designing it, and coming up with what we wanted in terms of a facility, right? But it was also trying at times because what we did is different. We're very movement-based, and so when you look at our facility and you see the green space down the middle, that we do so much training of basic body movements before we even put kids in a rack and do weight-resisted training. They see a 5,000 square foot room that isn't full wall-to-wall with equipment and think, how is training going on? But if you come in and see what we're doing with athletes, you'll understand.
Oh, it's incredible. Last year the weight room was great as it was, but now with all the new platforms and all the new equipment, it's so much easier to just come in and get stuff done.
Ryan is busy all summer with the Trojan Power program. As many as 450 kids are in the weight room at various times on some days.
I think we're one of the first, probably one of the first high schools to really put in a summer program like we have. We were ahead of the game, I think, in a lot of ways. In the summer, I view myself as an air traffic controller. I'm scheduling all of the different sports, all of the different coaches, getting them in here, getting the workouts that they want for their athletes, allowing them to have input.
While awards are nice, the real reward for RJ comes with seeing Trojan athletes that he's seen work hard in the weight room succeed.
Oh, absolutely. I was going nuts at the basketball section championship when we beat Hopkins. That was great. Those kids have been working so hard in the weight room, and to see that come to fruition out on the court or the field, that's one of my biggest joys.
In Plymouth, Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Johnson was recently in Las Vegas to receive his award. He's been a teacher and coach at Wayzata for 17 years. That's it for sports. Alex and Mike, back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Good for him, too. Still ahead, a special Independence Day celebration for local people in Brooklyn Park.
And speaking of celebration, it is that time again in Crystal. How a tradition has managed to stay alive at the Crystal Frolics when we come back. Brooklyn Park has one of the largest Liberian populations in the state, and today many of those folks are celebrating Independence Day in Liberia.
Wednesday afternoon, members of the Organization of Liberians in Minnesota were busy setting up for the festivities. The event will include traditional foods as well as fun and games for the children. And while the holiday commemorates Liberia's independence from American colonization, organizers say they want everyone to join in on the celebration.
We're about 40,000 in the Twin City, and our Independence Day, we want to say to our American family that come and join us, celebrate, and come and know the history of Liberia.
West African country was established by freed African-American slaves. The independence of Liberia was declared July 26, 1847. There aren't too many cities in the northwest suburbs that still offer a carnival at their city festival, but Crystal is getting ready for another year, carnival and all.
Becker Park is already filling up with carnival rides as crews set up for the kickoff of the Crystal Frolics Thursday at 6 p.m. While cost and security issues put an end to carnivals in cities such as Brooklyn Park and Robbinsdale, Crystal tightened its security several years ago, and it's helped keep the carnival family-friendly.
I think of my growing up and how much fun I had at the carnival, and it can be a joy, and that's what we want to bring to the city of Crystal and the surrounding communities. We still want them to find that joy that they can find in a carnival.
Crystal Frolics runs through Sunday. All those under the age of 18 must be accompanied by an adult to enter the carnival after 4 p.m. And that's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again tomorrow starting at 4.